Talk about the development of Godhood. Now, we all know that in order for you to become the best you possible, that you must tap into your higher self. And this goes into the basics of knowledge of self. But you must understand that in order for you to become the best you possible, you must go through the shadow of the valley of death, right? You must go through Da'at. You must go through the cave. You must fight the dragon. You must defeat the beast and all the. You must go through the shadow work in order to become the best you possible, right? To become the light bringer. And a lot of people still haven't gone through the shadow of the valley of death. A lot of people haven't, overcome their shadows. They haven't overcome their demons or their beast or whatever the case is, to compromise, to become at one, to make peace with that which is behind you. Now, when we're dealing with Godhood, we're talking about your individual being, yourself. We're not talking about the masses of black people. We're not talking about the masses of the people who are enlightened. We're talking about you, your development in Godhood. You must first understand who you truly are. Once you make peace with that which has happened to you in the past, and you utilize what has happened to you in the past to become a better you. You ever see like some of the people, some of the warriors where they'll fight the dragon, but then they'll compromise with the dragon. Now they fighting on top, on the dragon defeating all the enemies and everything like that. They control and they have tamed the dragon. Some people haven't gone through that process where the things that have happened to you, you turn your lemons into lemonade and lemon cake. But aside from that, when you go through the process of the valley of the shadow of death, when you go through Da'at and then you become the light bringer, this is when you go into the process of what do you identify as? What do you personify as? A lot of people have said that they have went through the work or still going through the work, and yet they have not come to terms with who they truly are. They have not come to terms in which of who they truly are. Some of them say they're gods. Other people say that they're kings. Other people say that they're this and that. But they have not come to terms into creating and personifying with who and what they truly are. Some people will say one thing, but they will mean another. You'll say you're gods and kings and queens and all these good names that make you feel good, like masturbation. But then in the next breath, you'll say you're the most targeted and overlooked and undervalued and disrespected, unprotected. So you have to come to terms with what are you going to truly be. You can't be in God mode and in your Godhood, and yet you're playing victim. Are you going to be a house Negro, field Negro, or are you going to be a God? When developing into Godhood, you have to create your own identity. What are you going to be? Who will you become? Because it's one thing for you to call yourself a god and a goddess and a king and a queen. It's a whole nother level when you go beyond those terms and identify who you truly are. When you make your own judgment of yourself, when you make your own definition of yourself, when you define yourself, not beyond, not to the terms of what we think is good and what we think is deemed as majestic and royal. But beyond those terms, what do you identify as? Who are you truly are? What is your persona? Even beyond black, Tyrone. Even beyond black. Even beyond black, because you're a nine-ether being. So who truly are you? What do you identify as? This could mean anything. You could go back to being the god and the goddess and the king and the queen. There's no right or wrong answer. But there's levels to this. And when there's levels to this, you can't be going up and down the stairs. You can't be saying you're a god one day, and then as soon as they portray to you on social media, somebody getting killed, or somebody getting abused, or somebody being mistreated for their skin color, allegedly, now you want to go back downstairs and talk about how you're overlooked and mistreated and undermined and all this type of stuff. Pick your side. And nobody said it was easy to think this way. It takes for some people it takes months. For some people it may take a couple of weeks. Or for some people it may take years, just depending upon your mental status and where you at, and what you go through and what you have been through. You know, it's a process. This is why it's a hero's journey. You're going through this journey to become the best you possible, to become the Haru of your story. My purpose in when I talk about spirituality and metaphysics and the occult is for you to understand that it's not as deep as you may think it is. And you know, this is, you know, some people, when they hear me say this, they love it, but you know, this is why I was telling people, you know, years ago, a couple of years ago, that your lifestyle and the way that you live is a ritual. The way that you have created this daily routine, you know, depending upon what's ever going on here, is how you will get to the goal that you want to go to. Waking up early every day. You hear millionaires, billionaires tell you that you got to wake up early and grind and hustle and be consistent. That's a ritual. Waking up at a specific time, doing something at a specific time is a ritual. But you don't see it that way. You may think it's pressure. You may think it's, oh, I gotta wake up. Oh, I gotta go and do this. Oh, I gotta. No. See, you gotta change. You gotta change your mindset. Once you change the mindset and you change your perspective on something, your whole life turns around.